going on, everyone? So today was De'Aaron Fox extension day, and there's been a lot of reports, a lot of conversations, a lot of questions surrounding De'Aaron Fox and the San Antonio Spurs. What are they going to do? Are they going to give him that contract? Are they going to give him the max extension? Or is it going to be, max extension but the fewer years, right? A 3-year maybe max, something along those lines. Well, we got to today and nothing. Right? They have not signed the extension. And to put things in perspective, a guy like Luka, literally the moment, right? He was expected to sign today. He actually signed yesterday when it officially became official, right? Because usually teams, if you're the guy and we're just going to give you the max, there's no games. It's you sign them, right? But again, you continue to hear reports. You continue to hear all this noise of like, hey, the San Antonio Spurs, since getting Dylan Harper, changed everything. And I've talked about this for months, and I've gotten pushback and pushback and pushback, but it's the reality, right? Whether we want to face it or not, it's the reality. Now, that doesn't mean that De'Aaron Fox won't sign the max and that the San Antonio Spurs won't give it to him. But usually, if both sides know, hey, we're just going to give you the max, usually it's a done deal immediately. Right? Very rarely does it get drawn out unless sides are negotiating or someone is kind of reserved, right? Like that's the problem. And now you have Marc Stein, who recently came out and gave a report, basically diving into his extension today, and said that him getting an extension, a max contract extension, is not seen as automatic. So there is a lot of talks, again, still, that it's not guaranteed that the San Antonio Spurs are going to pay De'Aaron Fox what he wants, which is why I've talked about potentially trading De'Aaron Fox, why I've talked about De'Aaron Fox might be the one to initiate the trade, because he might feel slighted and looked at it as like, hey, I chose you. I came here. I came to you, and you guys decided now because you got this shiny new toy that you don't want to pay me what I'm worth? And the serious question is he even worth the max? Is it even worth you paying the max salary in order to bring in De'Aaron Fox, right? I don't think he's a $50 million a year guy or 42, right? Whatever it would be that he'd get, right? Like, I don't think that he's worth that amount, right? He's going to make the same amount of money as Luka Doncic. Now, to be fair, Luka would have gotten the supermax, but he was traded. Still, right? Like, De'Aaron Fox, like, where does he range? I think he's closer to like a $30 million guy because what has he accomplished? What has he achieved, right? Like, and this is the problem. This is the dilemma that the Spurs have. If they didn't get Dylan Harper, automatic, right? No questions asked. They pay him. They give him the money. There'd still be the conversation of would he have been worth it? But they would have given him the money because that's the guy that they wanted that was going to lead the franchise as the starting point guard. They didn't know, and this is what I keep trying to reiterate. They did not know that they were going to get Dylan Harper. They did not know that Stephon Castle was going to look as good as he is, right? They did not see the future. Otherwise, they might have not have done that trade. If they knew we're going to get Dylan Harper, right, they probably never do the De'Aaron Fox trade. But because they ended up doing it, and now they got Dylan Harper, now they're at this impasse, right? So the idea that he's just he's going to get this, this max contract and everything's going to be great, don't be shocked. The whole, hey, he could end up getting traded. People keep saying like, absolutely not, Spurs. Don't be shocked. Again, I don't know. I'm not in the front office. I'm not, on the phones, but I've taken a lot of heat for talking about this, and we're here and there's no contract. Again, maybe they will. But my whole thing, the whole reason that I keep talking about this, and I brought it up, and I talked about this literally months ago. I talked about this when we drafted Dylan Harper, right? And I talked about, like, does this change things? And clearly, the Spurs feel that way. Because if they didn't, they would have paid him, right? The Lakers knew, hey, Luka, extension, boom, let's go. Luka goes, extension, boom. No questions, no nothing, do a whole press conference, end up going to a Backstreet Boys concert, all of that, right? Living their best life. The Spurs were supposed to do that with De'Aaron Fox. And then they landed Dylan Harper. And it changes everything for this team. Again, I keep talking about it. The Spurs are going to get expensive, and they're going to get expensive fast. And it starts with De'Aaron Fox. Right? Now, it's very possible. There's several ways that this could go. they could, hold off, kind of see and gauge, and, maybe at the trade deadline they trade him. They could trade him this offseason, right? De'Aaron Fox, like I mentioned, could request a trade and go, you know what, hey, get me out of here. Right? Like there's a lot of different scenarios in which this could go. There's also the path that they just give him the max, right? So it is even in the same report, it's expected that, according to Brett Siegel, right, report Sunday that the talks around the NBA is that Fox will likely sign an extension worth slightly less than the max. Right? So there's been a lot of talks about him, maybe getting the full years, but not at a full max. Or him getting a max but on shorter years, right? Kind of line his contracts up with a Stephon Castle and a Dylan Harper, right? So maybe do like a 3-year deal, like a 3-year max rather than, the longer max where it's like, okay, now he basically what Luka did, right? Luka got the 3-year max, but that's more of just like he'll make more money type thing. So maybe they do something like that with De'Aaron Fox, and then his money kind of falls off. He goes wherever he's going to go. And then the Spurs, they get to go and bring in and pay, not bring in, but pay Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle, or I guess Stephon Castle and then Dylan Harper, kind of go that route, that manner, right? I don't think we're out of the woods yet, though. Again, like there is clearly a reason he didn't sign his max extension today, because it's usually pretty, you want the max? We want to give you the max. Easy. Boom. Sign it. Here it is. Here's the paperwork. Right? And the fact that they didn't, right? And look, there have been several reports from several different people that have all said the same thing. And, again, at times everything's kind of, it's all noise until you really see things. But like, what's the general consensus? And the general consensus is the Spurs might not want to give him the money because they got Dylan Harper. Now, I understand the argument of, well, because you have Dylan Harper, right? We don't know what Fox can do. We don't know what Dylan Harper can do. I get all that. But if you're the Spurs, do you really want to commit to a guy that you're unsure about? There's a lot of questions about De'Aaron Fox coming out of Sacramento, right? He had one good season. And he lost in the first round. That was the best season he had with Sacramento. He lost in the first round. There's a lot of questions about him being a leader, being one of the top players on your team, so on and so forth. Right? And then he comes to the Spurs, and the Spurs give up literally nothing to get him. None of their key pieces, none of their future guys, nothing. And the Spurs were worse. Right? Now, in his defense, it's harder to integrate a number one option, a higher end guy than it is just like your role player, right? Because a role player, it's like, hey, what you've done your whole career? Yeah, just do that here, right? Where a star, they're used to getting X amount of shots and opportunity, especially if they're not coming to be just like the guy, they're coming in to be one of the guys. So again, Spurs and De'Aaron Fox are not out of the woods yet in that regard. We'll see what ends up happening, but don't be shocked, again, if he ends up getting traded or he requests a trade or something. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.